welcome to Barnyarns TV. Today we're going to be talking about my two favourite pairs of needles. I'm going to be looking a little bit more into the detail of both and why you would want to choose either. So, we're going to start things off with the Schmetz Topstitch 9014. This is Schmetz embroidery needle, essentially. So we've got a double-sized eye, a deeper groove. So when you're running any threads through this needle, you're going to find that it's going to sit in the groove rather than on the shank. So this is very useful for if you're doing any sort of high-speed work, you're wanting to kind of avoid your thread snagging and snapping in the eye. And it's just an all-round fantastic needle that I actually would probably use for all of my work, bar straight line stitching, piecing and applique. It's an all-round fantastic needle. And with the size 9014 as well, you can also get away with doing all of your metallic work through this eye, because obviously that double eye gives you that larger accommodation, which works really, really well. So the alternative to this is Schmetz's Topstitch 9014's older brother. The titanium Topstitch 90 is exactly the same, it's built on exactly the same framework, except it's got a special eye, a titanium coated eye. So how this works is, when you have a standard needle, you may have heard that you need to change your needle every project or 6 to 8 hours, and they're not lying. If you look at the amount of ladies that come to me and said, oh, I got my machine 12 years ago and I've still got the same needle in, I do sort of shiver in my spine a little bit. They're snagging, snapping, and even the tensions and everything, and the stitch pattern and the way the stitch kind of is running through. The first thing you need to do is please change your needle. So why do you need to change your needle every 6 to 8 hours? The reason why is because every time you run a thread through the eye of your needle, it saws a groove. So whether that be a metallic groove, a cotton groove, or a round groove, they'll all saw a groove at high speed, which basically makes the edge sharp. So as you can imagine, the more you run a thread through the eye of the needle, the sharper the groove becomes, hence causing your thread to snag and snap. So change your needle every 6 to 8 hours, which is an absolute standard. And what I would say is, when you're looking at getting your needles, give the Topstitch 9014 a go, because they're absolutely fantastic. And when you fall in love with those, which you absolutely will, I would recommend going for the titanium Topstitch 90, only because the titanium coating in the eye of the needle gives you that probably 6 to 7 times longer capacity to be able to sew without having to worry about changing your needle. So I think you can probably get away with about 40 to 45 hours of sewing with this needle.